My husband is leaving me because I'm infertile. Me, 32 female, with my husband, 35 male, of 10 years, he is divorcing me because I am infertile. I am absolute wreck. Countless consultations, too many tests to count, 5 rounds of IVF, months of crying myself to sleep, and now the only source of happiness in my life is gone. The past year has been really difficult to me. Last July, my mother passed away and it had been her dream to see me, her only daughter, ripe with children, and I'm devastated that she didn't get to experience that. To add to that, in November, I was laid off and now the consequences of that have been coming to a head because husband and I can no longer afford another round of IVF. We can barely afford my appointments. My husband and I had been dreaming of the good life. 2 kids, a dog, and a pretty little house in the country. All of that came crashing down 2 days ago. He had just arrived home from work and I greeted him with a smile and came towards him with the expectation of a kiss. And he walked right past me. When I turned around and asked him what was wrong, he looked at me somberly and told me to sit down. As I sat, I could feel my heart sinking in my chest, although I didn't know why. He placed a couple of pieces of paper on the table and slid them towards me and buried his head into his hands and let out what sounded like a quiet sob. I looked down, shaking, and saw that he was serving me divorce papers. Everything after that is a blur. I have memories of him telling me that he loved me and he was so sorry, but that he had been miserable and if I wasn't able to have a child, he couldn't stay with me. He told me that he was the monster and that he couldn't shake his biological imperative anymore. We'd both agreed early on that if we couldn't have children, we wouldn't adopt because we wanted biological children. Please don't judge us. He used to hold me at night and tell me that he would never leave me, no matter what. That being childless was okay and it was worth it. I now know that is all a lie. I can't blame him though because it was me who was hindering the relationship. I am the broken one. His sister and best friend came over yesterday to help him pack up his things, and I just laid in my bed and sobbed the entire time. He has rented an apartment on the other side of town and has agreed to pay for our home for the next 4 months, until I can find another job and we can sell the house. I'm devastated. I've not left my bed since the night he left. I haven't eaten anything. I feel like I've already died. What do I do, Reddit? I haven't had the courage to tell any of my friends or family yet because I'm already shamed by them for being infertile. How could he do this to me? My life is over.
This phrasing really turned my stomach. The way OOP describes herself as broken and as an old maid is really upsetting. She is far more than an incubator, yet it seems everyone around her has convinced her that her only value is from her ability to reproduce. I am an adoptee and an adoptive mother. While I don't like how she phrased it, I also appreciate that they were honest with themselves about not wanting to raise adopted children. There is trauma associated with adoption, which means that extra care is needed. If they are unwilling/unable to provide it, then I am glad they admitted it. I wouldn't want the adopted child to have to deal with parents that didn't want them. That husband is a piece of shit. I don't get what is up with some guys and their need to spready their seed, but he's been fucking up this whole time. I hope that bitch stays single and without child. Good on Oop for moving forward, but I feel so sorry for all the shit she went through leading up to this. So I'm normally a hippie peace and love girl, but you need to tear this MF a new one. Tell everyone you know the bullshit story of why he wanted to divorce you, and then show them the screenshots of his confession. You need all the support you can get right now. I don't judge OP for wanting biological children. She's correct that most people in the world want bio children, and it does take special people to not immediately leap to fruit of my loins in figuring out their families. I do find OP dumb for not considering that being a parent might look different than she had originally thought, and could still be an amazing and wonderful experience without biology. It's good that she didn't adopt and then be a shit parent, but the myopic worldview seems hella stupid. This hit me in the guts. It was a big fear. My twins are embryo number 9. IVF is horrible. In IVF support groups you do witness the breakdown of a lot of marriages. This is not unusual. It is completely devastating. Also, don't raise any points about adoption. Adoption is different to IVF. It requires a completely different mindset, capabilities and life. Whilst I'm still open to adoption, it's also damned hard to do where I'm from, and I'm not in a place where I can foster. I'm ASD, and fostering kids/teens with trauma probably isn't good right now. Men are so fucking weak. She has to live with the damn branding of barren and broken, but he's the one needing solace in the arms of another, instead of supporting his chosen life partner through the hardship. Pathetic. If I cannot provide a child for him and that is truly what he wants, then he needed to leave. So much for better or for worse. This guy's entire reaction reeks of macho ego. I bet if he was the one who was infertile, he'd be telling OOP to get over it or aggressively try to convince her that kids are overrated. I couldn't stop replaying in my mind him telling me that he loved me but couldn't be with me. OOP shouldn't concern herself with that fool's words. If he really loved her, he wouldn't be leaving her over her infertility. He would at least try and learn to accept it as being a part of OOP. But instead of putting in any work to accept things, instead of honoring his vows, and instead of supporting his wife through what has clearly been the worst year of her life, he cheats on her and then dumps her. What a coward. I hope OOP cuts him out of her life for good.